Oops.
Potato title.
Hi, Streeter.
Oh, Inception. Oh, that looks.
Okay.
Was it that?
So, skeletal system is a really long, this next unit is pretty long. It encompasses chapter 6, chapter 7, and chapter 8 in your textbook. So this will be a pretty long unit, but because we have a block, do you have friends in the other anatomy, like the skinny?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're probably ahead of us, but it's because they have a,
Oh yeah, I have friends.
they haven't been doing any research stuff. But because we have a block, we're going to go a lot faster than them, so we will catch them probably not too far from now. Anyway,
They said the skeletal system test was really, like one of my friends said it was really, really hard.
it's long because we do a lot. I mean, it's like 3 different chapters. Really.
Oh dear.
And at some point, probably Monday, I'm gonna, you're gonna have to know a lot of the different bones, but we're not gonna worry about that just yet. I'll give that to you later. So. Okay. We have a lot going on in this chapter. Okay, so skeletal system is important. Why?
Because it supports,
Yeah,
it supports and protects our organs.
It supports us. It
It protects our organs.
protects your organs, right? Okay, so that's why we care. Y'all, you have your Chromebooks, you gotta just be taking notes. Okay, so this is only a few of the bones that we have. You will have to know all of these and more. But anyways, okay. So let's first talk about, well, actually, before we do this. So the major tissue that forms your skeletal system is what? We learned this in pathology. Osseous tissue, right? Bones. And it forms most of the skeleton. The skeleton, however, has also a lot of cartilage that we're going to talk about in just a second. Before we move on, this is stuff you have to write. It's not in here at all. Okay, I'm just going to hang on the slide and say a bunch of stuff. So you're going to need to write, take notes. So the framework of bones and cartilage basically comprises your skeleton that protects you, supports you, but also allows you to move. Your skeleton is a place for attachment of your skeletal muscles. And the way they attach to your bones, like your biceps muscle, you know, the one, this muscle here. So it, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Sorry. Okay, so it attaches up here to a bone up here, and it also attaches to the bones in your forearm. It actually, if it attached to like just the bone right here, it wouldn't do anything when it contracted. So when it contracts, it pulls on these bones to pull them up, right? And your triceps muscle does the same thing, and when they contract, they connect to these bones and pull them down. So they actually cross bones, and they don't actually attach to just one bone. We'll talk about that when we do the muscles. Anyway, so they allow you to move. Osteology is a branch of medicine that studies bone and treats bone disorders. So ever you see the word osteo, O-S-T-E-O, you should think of bones. A lot of the disorders we're going to learn about have osteo in their name. There's a book, I don't think someone ever get back to me. I will not name names. It's I even forget the name of the book. I really liked it, but it was a book about, they made a movie, I forget, but it's about a girl that has a disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta.
Oh, I watched it.
And the book's a lot better. But it's basically the bones will never, they don't ever fully ossei, like ossify, and they're really fragile, and you just like bump your leg on here and you break a bone. Anyway, I forget the book. So without a skeleton, you wouldn't be able to move at all. You would, even just a small bump could damage your brain if you didn't have a skull. So you'd just be that's really, really important, and you would just be a messy blob. Yeah.
Have you heard of that condition where it's like, it's a genetic imperfection or something, where the family in Connecticut has bones that are 8 times the normal density?
No.
So they sink in water, but they've never had bones, none of them have. And this one guy needs a hip replacement, but he can't get it because they try to drill prosthetic into it, and they can't.
When you redo the disorder project, you should do that.
Okay.
Whatever that is. Okay, so functions of the skeletal system. You should write this down. I don't think I have. You just kind of go and here we go. We'll just do your functions before we move on. Functions, support, protection, we talked about that, movement. All right, ones I didn't talk about, mineral storage. It has a reservoir for minerals, calcium, potassium. What makes your bones really hard is basically the minerals that are in the bones. Phosphorus. Calcium and phosphorus are the main ones. They are stored in your bones, but if your body has a shortage of them, they can be taken out of your bones and sent to the other parts of your body. Calcium, you might not, like, what do you think about when you think of calcium?
Milk.
You think of milk, but why do you think it's important?
Makes your bones harder. I think of a bitter.
Well, that's okay. But what you actually don't know about, which is really cool, and we'll talk a little bit when we do muscle, the function of physiology of muscle contraction, but calcium is a really important signaling molecule in all the cells of your body. It serves as something called a second messenger. It's an important signaling molecule. And actually, calcium plays a really important role in skeletal muscle contraction. And it doesn't just make your bones hard. Like, it has a lot of other really important roles. But if you didn't have calcium, not only that your bones would be weak, but a lot of your cell signaling inside your cells and muscle contraction wouldn't work properly. You can also store, in terms of storage, you can also store fat or lipids in your yellow bone marrow. Write that down. And those are important for, chemical energy.
Lipids into the bone.
Fats and lipids.
Fat/lipids in your yellow bone marrow. And the yellow marrow is made mainly of adipose tissue. And then the last function we'll talk about is hematopoiesis, which is the blood cell formation. You have red bone marrow in certain bones of your body. I think that was in your homework.
Yes. Yeah.
And we'll talk about where those are. Yeah.
So we have flat bones, or is it just?
So we'll talk about it.
Oh,
It's okay. Your femur. It depends on little kids versus older people. We'll talk about them later. Okay. Let me go backwards for a minute. Huh? Oh, he said she was okay for now. So that's good. Hope it doesn't happen again. That was a ear infection that lasted like a month and a half.
I have ear infections like once a month when I was like 6 or 7.
You have tubes?
No, I never have.
Yeah, they checked me.
Yeah, the twins have tubes, but they haven't. They haven't put tubes in her, and I'm sort of nervous if she does this again, they're gonna want to get tubes. Which isn't a terrible process. It's just happening.
I had a tiny tube in here, and we had to like put the numbing thing, but I don't think it worked. And then I could like feel it, and it just.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of cartilage. Well, not a lot. It's actually more cartilaginous when you're younger versus when you're older. But your skeletal cartilage they are avascular. We know what that means, right? They have no blood vessels, and they also don't have neurons.
Is there a word for not having neurons?
They're not innervated. Okay. They are surrounded by something called the perichondrium, which is dense, irregular connective tissue. Can you remember what that looks like? This dense connective tissue contains blood vessels and nerves. And it allows the nutrients to be supplied to the cartilage. So the cartilage is living tissue. So it doesn't have its own blood supply. So how does it get the nutrients? It's because of that perichondrium that surrounds it. Okay? There's 3 types of cartilage. the hyaline, elastic, and fibrocartilage that are very important for the functioning of your skeletal system. And then we're going to talk about and you need to know where they're located in the body. So hyaline cartilage is the first type we'll talk about. Hold on, I'll come back. Hyaline cartilage most commonly it's on here, so blue. So we have, you can't really see it, but here we have the rib cage. Okay, you can see in some of the important joint cavities, your nose. Anyways, you can see it there. So support flexibility, resilience. So articular, you couldn't see that in the picture, but it covers the ends of your long bones. It's called articular cartilage. It's important there in reducing friction when your bones are like in a joint cavity moving over around each other. Costal cartilage is hyaline cartilage that connects the ribs to your sternum. I think part of what I'm going to spend my money on, y'all, is a new skeleton.
That's what you should do.
How much do they cost?
Oh, like $800.
Oh,
or more.
where do you get them from?
Like a science supply company.
What is it called? What is it?
It's metal.
Well, there's different ones you can get, but I think this amount of work it takes to put them together and to make, so they're expensive.
We should also.
If I buy one with my money, it's gonna stay in my room and no one would ever bother it. It'll be like, he's 500 skeleton. Huh?
You can buy the pieces and let us see it.
Yeah. This is the sternum. Yeah, this is the costal cartilage they're talking about. That's why I was going to pull him out. This here, okay? It helps in expansion. So your rib cage has to expand when you inhale, right? And so the cartilage helps with that. You also have skeletal muscles, or not skeletal, you have muscles in here that will expand. Remember one time Pablo like pulled muscles in here. How do you pull muscles in here? Rib cage, but anyway. Oh, I'm excited. That was a good use. I haven't done it yet, but my money will be a good use of it. Okay, and then respiratory system. So it has your larynx, which is your voice box, and that. Oh, you can see it in here. And it also helps to reinforce air passages. So your bronchi, your bronchioles, have the cartilage, the hyaline cartilage in there. That's not really part of your skeleton. And your nose is made up of hyaline cartilage. It's the most abundant type of the three cartilages in the body.
Question about vertebrae.
Fibrocartilage? What was it asking?
Oh, yeah, it's fibrocartilage.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's fibrocartilage. Fibrocartilage is impressive. It resists compression. And you want that in between your vertebrae. I haven't looked at them yet.
What was the ear one?
Stop.
Oh, he hasn't taken it yet.
Oh.
I forgot. Thanks, Dave. And neither has like a billion people in the other class. Just keep that in mind. Like 6 or 7 people in the other class haven't taken it.
Oh, right.
Elastic cartilage is similar to hyaline cartilage. It just has more elastic fibers. The external ear and the epiglottis. You know what your epiglottis is? Yeah. The epiglottis is the thing back here. No. The thing back in your throat that controls when you swallow.
Oh yeah, doesn't it like?
It's not really in your throat, but it's the flap of cartilage. It's not that thing, but it's the flap of cartilage that closes over your trachea when you swallow, so liquid and food don't go down in your respiratory.
What happens when it does? Is it
You choke.
No, I mean like, what happens to the thing when it does?
Oh, so sometimes when people laugh and they swallow at the same time, the laughing forces air out of the, like, up this way, and then the epiglottis goes like this. So when you're swallowing, so the epiglottis is kind of just not closed all the way, and so the fluid can get into
And that's why when you're laughing and you're drinking water.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the actual name of your Adam? Like, is there an actual name for that?
Isn't it your larynx?
I have no idea.
I think it's your larynx. It's just different than guys. I think it's what it is. What is that?
Why was it named Adam? Oh.
I don't have.
You need lotion?
I think
I have lotion.
Let's see. But I also kind of need to.
It smells good all day.
I can't find an actual name for it, but it says it protects the walls of the front part of the house.
Oh, thank you. What part of it? Okay. Fibro cartilage is highly compressible, like I said. Has a lot of collagen fibers. And it's in your intervertebral discs, and it's also in what's called the meniscus of the knee. Yeah. We'll talk about your knee joint. Your knee joint is very complicated. There's a whole chapter on joints. I think it's chapter 8.
Ooh, we have 3 separate quizzes on each chapter instead of one big test on the show.
No. You'll have a quiz on the bones of the skeleton.
I'm not gonna get a 40 on that one.
You said you're gonna
Actually, no, memorize those in
Alaska.
7th
Yeah,
grade.
plenty in the class.
Yeah.
It's like Russian disaster.
You just need to go through the TLC videos and find that skeleton.
Not everybody wants to.
Yo, don't we make like a huge website thing like YouTube did?
Oh, yeah, true. I could just go into there and find out what I wrote.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you did it.
I was proud of my website.
Oh, here you can see the epiglottis, the larynx, and then the trachea, and then the bronchi. Anyways, here are where you have the rest of that hyaline cartilage. Okay. All right. Now, moving on into bones. So your book went into the growth of cartilage. Do you remember reading about that?
Yeah.
You don't have to know that. Okay. So this is a college level textbook. And so although I make you read chapters and stuff, like there are certain parts I don't cover and you don't need to know. So I will not test you on something I don't cover. So you don't need to know the growth of cartilage. Got it? Okay. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. Now it's different in AP Bio because there's actually no way I can actually physically talk about every single thing you have to know. But in this class, all right, so the bones are classified in different ways. There's a big classification of bones into axial and what we call appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton consists, if you look in this picture, it's the orange bone. All right, so it's the bones of the skull, the vertebral column, and the rib cage. And your appendicular skeleton includes the bones of your appendages, therefore the name appendicular. So upper and lower limbs, shoulder, and your hip, you notice down here you can see the pelvic bones are part of your appendicular skeleton.
There was this guy who was born pretty much without his entire appendicular skeleton.
How is that possible?
How do you know so much about
He
that?
doesn't have arms.
Did he live?
Yeah, look
Did
that
he
up.
live?
Yeah, he's fine. He's like sitting literally till he
Well, you don't need arms or legs. I mean, as long as someone feeds you.
dies.
Well, I mean, what about like his
What would
hips?
that motivate me?
Did he have his
If
hips?
I can do it,
I
you
don't know
can.
what he
I don't have
does, so
a.
he doesn't have arms.
Where did you get all this?
I can't. I do research in my free time.
That's okay. It's good. I like to read a lot. Well, I used to like to read a lot. That's when I had free time. It doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
I have this book sitting on my bedside table, and I'm on like page 25, and I've been trying to read it for like 2 months. It's really bad.
Yeah, I like to read. I have like so many
love
books.
to
Like,
read.
I have so many books in my Kindle. Like, so that when it comes to summer, I just like to read so much that I get like.
Before children, I would read all the time.
I forgot the name of the book.
All right, so bones can also be classified by shape. So long bones are obviously longer than they are wide. There's most of the bones in your body are actually long bones. But so the humerus, the bones of your upper arm, forearm, your femur bones, the radius and ulna, the tibia, fibula, the bones in most of your phalanges and your fingers, the metacarpals, the metatarsals, even a lot of your digits are long bones. So most of the bones of the upper and lower limbs are actually long bones. Short bones are kind of cube-shaped bones. Your wrist and your ankle have them. Also bones that form within tendons, like a sesamoid bone, which is like the patella. So they're kind of cube-shaped. They can look more rounded, actually. So, but most of them are your carpals and your tarsals, which are in your wrist and your ankle. And like I said, those sesamoid bones. These are bones that form within tendons. And your patella as an example. All right, flat bones are thin and flattened. They can be curved a little bit. So the bones of your skull, the ribs, your sternum, which is your breastbone. Here, I'll go over to my hand. So your sternum is here, your scapula back here, your shoulder blades. Skull, no, they're not flat. They're round. He's a pirate. And then irregular bones. So your hip bones are in here, and your vertebrae, they just have really crazy shapes. Okay, so here's just some more. So here's a flat bone. This is one of the bones in your skull. Vertebrae, notice, or vertebra. They just look crazy. What's this hole for?
Your spinal cord.
Spinal cord. And then here are short bones, the ones of your wrist. These are the long bones. These are your metacarpals. Okay. Here's the humerus. Usually that has to do with the tendons in that area. So that's what it is. They're inflamed, and it's hard. They are slow to heal because tendons have a very poor blood supply, and so that's why. It's the tendons, not the bones. Yeah.
How does the vertebrae and the pelvis like connect?
Okay, so this little guy, the end of your vertebral column, this is called the sacrum, and the hip bones are attached to the sacrum there. So it's not actually attached like to this part in the middle, it's attached to the bones. So, this is your tailbone. So, I like the skeletal system a lot. We'll probably spend a lot of time on the skeletal system.
Wait, Miss Wagner.
Yeah.
What did you say about like regular bones?
What about?
Wait, did you say something about like regular, or is it just
These are just the shape, so irregular shape. So there's no regular. There's long, short, flat, and then irregular. And that's Y'all remember that? I haven't put it on there yet, but there'll be homework online. Have a good weekend. Today's Friday, right? See you Sunday if you're coming. A word ceremony, science
How
fair.
long do you think that'll last? Because if it's not Sunday at 4,
Maybe an hour.
That's like homework time.
I know. Maybe an hour, hopefully just an hour.
By the time we get